Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Caernarvon Eradicator, or the Eradicator Caernarvon, one of the two, whichever way it goes around. And the tank in itself is really good. Is it one that I truly enjoy? It's not quite me as a tank, but that doesn't mean it's a bad tank, right? Because the reload on this tank with the 3 shells is 17.1 seconds, as you've just seen load in, for 280 alpha with those 3 shells. And it puts out damage so quickly. The one thing that holds it back for me a little is the intra-clip, basically. It's the one thing that probably annoys me most. The shell velocity is also not the best, even though that shell shot was not very good. So generally, like, if I was to pick a tank to play, I wouldn't naturally think to pick this. I'd probably just go, oh, you know what? I'll take the Ragnarok. Or I'll take the General, one of the two. I mean, I'd take the General, even though the General is worse than this tank. It's just got that faster intra-clip, and that makes me slightly more happy. I don't know, I just generally don't do that well in this tank. And that 2.7 second intra-clip is just, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I fire one, and then I'm waiting for the second to go in, and then I'm waiting for the third to go in. And I will just wait that little bit too long and I end up taking a hit generally, and it can be annoying at times for me. I'm not too much of a fan of autoloaders that do have those really long intro clips. I like them to dump the clip, get out, you know, kind of like the T57 Heavy does, or like the Ragnarok or the Skoda does. So we're in this first game and we're on highway, and we've managed to get a decent amount of damage out, a bit of assistance as well at those that tried to cross into the middle from their spawn, which is something that you shouldn't often try to do. I've only ever seen it really work once or twice with them since they changed the spawns a long time ago. It's literally, their spawn cannot make it to the side and survive for the most part, unless like literally they commit most of their team to it. So it's not often that they do it, but you've, from your side, from our side that we were on there, you've just got to bide your time, get rid of the guys in the middle that will light you up before you manage to get a decent way across, and then once they're all gone from the middle, make your choice. Work out when it's the best time to decide to cross over. So we crossed over, we spotted this Goranich, and he's dead. Unfortunately, we ended up firing that last shell into his dead wreck, but there we go. We managed to get a bit of a spot. We only got 1300 spotting. So we actually barely got any assisted on that guy, but we did get the 2 shells into him. I mean, we're up to 2.5k damage now, 1300 assistance, which is nice. And a lot of their team are spotted on that K line, on the town push. And I'm looking at that thinking, I don't think they have much to my left. So I'm just going to push straight over and see if I can get some nice shots into these guys as they basically cross the open field. Because you never know, some of them might cross in the open, and then some of them might also basically cross up onto the hill that climbs up to our base. And if I go into the middle of this field, I can basically get shots at them as they cross up. But as we were going across, we spot this UDES 1405 just chilling. He hasn't quite realised that we're on the way to him. We're going to get some shots into him. 1, he shoots some tractors without penners. 2, we set him on fire, and we finish him off. And again, we're going to just progress. There is one guy that's spotted in their base, but we're just going to progress now towards where the rest of their team is, and hopefully we'll get some more damage off. But you just got to see, we've just killed that UDES, right? And look how fast we are about to get the clip back in. It's like, oh, the clip's back in, finish off that guy. Now we've got this Caernarvon 1 in front of us, which is kind of an annoying tank to sit in front because it's got decent armour, it's got a good gun, it's hard hitting. And it's generally quite a nice tank, the Caernarvon 1, which is the Scourge. It's the unskinned Scourge, for those of you that don't know. But we managed to get all shots into his lower plate before he pulled back, and now we are on the hunt for him. Because, I mean, this tank can go hull down and balance the odd shot, but the Caernarvon Action 10's turret, it's the same for the Paladin and this tank generally, is that it will bounce shots hull down, but it's not something that you should rely on again, because it's just one of those turrets that just take shots and they just go through and pen it. It can be quite annoying in that way. So we come up behind the Bellerophon, we get 1 shot into his back. Unfortunately, he dies to the Black Prince just before we manage to get the final kill shot into him. And now they've only got 2 tanks left. It's medium tank and the artillery. I mean, looking at it at this stage, the likelihood of me getting there to get any more damage is highly unlikely, because our light tank and heavy tank are swarming around those guys, and just unfortunately we're just not going to be quick enough. But yeah, I mean, that showed off what the Eradicator can do when it's just pressed to keep the gun firing, and that you just keep reloading so quickly, and you just keep being able to put those clips out. And when you just get allowed to be left alone and work your gun over on them, you can do a great game like this. And you finish with 3 kills, 4.7k damage, 2.2k assist, ace tanker, high caliber, 2.1k base, and a very nice game for the Eradicator. The one thing obviously that goes with the Eradicator as well, which is really nice, which is actually something that I was doing in these games, is I was training up the commander, and that's because the 75% crew bonus that you get on this tank, and the same as you get on the Earthshaker and the Demolisher, is honestly quite filthy. And with the new 6.0 crew system, or crew system 2.0, whatever you want to call it, training them up with these tanks means that you can train your crew from 2-3 skills up to full pretty quickly. I've found that the crew training generally is quite quick, and it's actually even better if you get one of these premium crews, like the ones that you get through the season pass, like the Snake Plissken crew, which is in this tank right now that you see him. Like, this isn't actually, that's the other thing, by the way, this is only like a 6 or 7 skill crew, something like that. It's not full skill, I was, like I say, training it up. We went from 3 skills that you get in Snake Plissken up to 9, well, it was not the skills, 8 skills, sorry. I'm still training the 9th, because the 9th is a slog to get to the end. The 8th skill, we went up to 8th skill in about 20, I think it was 27 battles, using 6 times crew boost. And this tank with the 75% crew booster that you get from the tank itself, as well as that, if you've completed the season pass, you also have an extra, I think it's an extra 50% crew XP boost as well. Honestly, you rinse through crew XP. The last game that you saw was over 100,000 crew XP, I should say, and this game is going to be very similar. And if you were having like 3 to 4k games in this tank, you were clearing over 100k crew XP, easy. And then if you're having sort of the more average 2.5k damage games, with a bit of assist here and there, you were clearing like 70 or 80. So you really blitz through these crew skills. And so, really, I know you can sell these crews that you get in the season pass for 600,000. But if you want to train crews, don't sell those crews. Train them up, because it's the best thing you can do. Because you will just get those crews to be godly in no time at all. So we're on steps anyway in the second game, and we have marauded down this flank. It's not the wonky spawns, it's the normal spawns, but we have pushed aggressively with our team down this flank, and their team has just folded on it. This T-54E1, this poor T-54E1, is sort of left in the lurch. He's like, oh no, I've made mistakes. I've got to go. I've got to go. And he made it away from my gun, unfortunately for me. But we're gonna poke up on this ridge line. Why did I take that shot? And that one unfortunately missed. Where that shell went, I don't know. I really don't know. But the second shot though, I don't know why I took that. But again, we're just waiting for the reload to go in, and then I can get up on top of this ridgeline and dump my clip into someone. We're trying to finish off this light tank. We'll get a nice shot into him on the move. We're just going to move up to this little ridgeline over here, because we'll stay safe from anything on the right, and we can get behind this hill basically to use our gun depression and use the turret armor, that sort of stuff, to try and avoid taking any extra damage. And hopefully we'll get a shot into the back of this 53 TP, get one in. Can we finish him off? We do. And we're just going to use the food now to boost our reload as much as possible, and we're going to move forward. And as well as that, the other side effect of using the food to boost our everything generally is that we get better view range while we move forward. So we managed to spot things like that TD that was in that bush, and he gets wrecked. Now we're driving up on this Waffle Panzer 4. We get 1 in, we get 2 in. Hopefully we get to finish him off, and we do. We finish him off, and we're just going to pull back behind the ridgeline now to try and stay away from these guys. This Eradicator looks like he's determined. He sees the defender, goes nope, and butts out. Luckily for me, that 704 didn't choose to shoot me, because that could have been my death there. And we get the shells in just to not be able to shoot the 704 and kill him, because our friends killed him just before we got the shot in. But we do get some more shots into the Type and the other guy, and now there's only 2 tanks left. There's a tank at E1 and the tank at BC5, and really the one that we're closest to is that tank at C5. I'm hoping he stays kind of safe so that I can get shots into him myself, you know, so selfish plays. But if I take this more left-hand route, which is what I'm trying to do, I might be able to get shots at him as he pokes out to try and attack. I think it's Swindle that's in the Barras there charging towards him. And I'm hoping that if I take a sort of more open route, I might be able to get more shots at these guys as they're towards our cap. But then this Barras is ploughing forward, so I'm hopefully going to finish him off, which we do. And we've got 1 shell left, which we're going to put into this Concept 1B. And we're going to put the food boost in again. Hopefully we'll be able to reload before this Concept 1B goes out. The likelihood of that happening, though, is very low, and he gets finished off by the rest of our team. But it's another nice game for the Eradicator. It's one that I've not really featured too much on this channel, and it generally is a very, very nice tank. And we finished that game with 5 kills, 4.4k damage, 1300 assistance. And if you're seeing the crew XP boosters here, by the way, look how much crew XP we're going to get. We're getting loads. So we finished with Ace Tanker as well, and 2.1k base XP as well, 1300 assistance. That's what, like 5.8k combined. Generally a really nice game for this tank. And as you see, we gained, it was around 100,000 crew XP in that game as well, which is just, it's amazing crew trainer. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!